Hello everyone, myself Harmeet, Saini, Registered Migration Agency ECA. Our today's live session is for parent visa to introduce you about the various categories of parents visas. Uh, this session is quite useful for everyone, either you are temporary visa holder, you are permanent resident of Australia, or you are Australian citizens. So before going to start this session, I would like to introduce you some recent migration changes, what going on in Australian migration nowadays. So recently, Australian government changed the education levels of various colleges, institute, universities, and for the countries as well. So these levels are implemented according to the risk factor of the countries and the institutes. Uh, the benefit, these levels are divided into three categories: level 1, level 2, and level 3. So if you are from the country of passport of level 1 or level 2, or you're going to study in level 1 or level 2 institute, the main advantage is that you don't have to provide financial evidences and English language evidences with the Department of Home Affairs. So it's a good news from country like India, uh, even Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, because India jumped from level 2 from level 3. So quite a long time India was on the level 3, and now it moves to level up to level 2 now. And similarly, other countries which are on level 1 are Korea, Japan, Spain, France, Italy, Mexico, Indonesia, Malaysia, and good news for Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. They also moved from level 2 to level 1, and Germany, Hong Kong, Taiwan, UK, USA. So these are level 1 countries. And level 2 are Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Nepal, India, which recently move up, and South Africa, Vietnam, and China. And level 3 countries are Colombia, Thailand, Philippines, Fiji, now on level 2, level 3, sorry. I'm talking about level 3, this category. So Peru and Turkey. So similarly, most of the Australian universities, they moved up in level 1. Even the university which are on level 2, level 3, so these are move up to level 2 and 1. So mostly universities are level 1 now, and a lot more institute, various colleges move from level 3 to level 2 and 1. So good news for the students. The coming financial year, it's a great news for everyone. For those especially who are coming from overseas to Australia on student visa, and this system is most beneficial for the students who are already in Australia and they're going to enroll for further studies or going to change the courses or something. Any course enrollment. So if they're going to level 2 or level 1, say they don't have to show the financial and English evidences. But keep in mind, these evidences are the discretion of Department of Home Affairs case officer or even the university, especially for the offshore student. University still may ask for the financial evidences and English language proficiency. So this was the biggest update. All these things were updated yesterday, and also there is one more update, like South Australia state nomination process. They introduced the occupation list, so it already updated yesterday, but we are still waiting for the seat allocation for the various states, because the seats are still not allocated. So the invitation rounds are not started yet. So we are keeping an eye on it. And as soon as we will have any update, we definitely let you know straight away, or we can discuss in the next coming webinars as well. So this, it was the recent update, and let's start with today's live session for the parent visa. So in this session, mainly I am going to discuss the various parent visa categories, their eligibility requirements, cost, and processing times of parent visas, bridging visas, whether it is associated with those parent visa or not, Medicare will be given to the parents or not, what and how much is the assurance of support be required, and if visa refuse is there, do they have the review right on the visa. So all these things I'm going to discuss in this today's live webinar. We have a lot of clients, whether they are Australian citizen, permanent residents, or the temporary visa holder, or either on student visa or TR. So all lot of clients ask about the parents visa, but they still confused like what sort of visa they have to apply for, which is the most beneficial visa for the parents, so that they can keep their parents for the longer time in Australia. So in this webinar, I am going to discuss in detail for each category, and you can judge which category will be most suitable for you according to the budget, according to the timeline, and according to the health and safety of your parents as well. So let's start this webinar. The parent visa, before going to start the visa categories for PR and Australian citizens, I'm going to tell you that if you are on temporary visa, either you are on any temporary visa like student visa, or any, are you on the TR or any 403, 407, 408, any visa category you're living temporarily in Australia. So best category is then you can call your parents to spend some quality time with you on visitor visa. So visitor visa is the most preferred way for the people who are temporary residing in Australia. And this can be granted for 3 months to 1 year stay or 6 months of stay, depends upon your visa category. On the other hand, there are another parent visa available, the people who get permanent residency in Australia, and the people who are Australian citizen, or people who are eligible New Zealand citizens. So these are the various parent visa category which I'm going to discuss today in this webinar. So let's start with, there are 3 types of parent visas available. One is contributory parent visa, another one is non-contributory parent visa, and third category is the temporary sponsored parent visa, which is subclass 870. So let's start with the contributory parent visa. So the main benefit of this visa is faster processing time compared to the non-contributory parent visa. This visa is processed between 7 to 12 or 30 months, 30 years, sorry. But the main disadvantage, I can't say disadvantage, the main point is this visa is quite costly. So the cost is quite high, up to 48,640 per applicant. And there are 2 subclasses in this visa. One is 143, and another is subclass 86864. These are permanent visas, and 143 is the offshore visa, 864 is the onshore visa. I will tell you so what the difference and what are the benefit of this visa to apply, which one you have to go for. And also there are 2 another categories, 173, which is offshore, 884, which is onshore. So, but these are temporary visa, but they have the category to apply permanent visa after getting this visa, if you're holding this visa for 2 years. Another one is non-contributory parent visa. It is much lower cost compared to the contributory parent visa. But the main thing is the waiting time is quite long on this visa. It is 30 30 plus nowadays. It is more than even 30 years nowadays, the waiting time for this visa. But this waiting time has their own pros and cons, because when you are offshore, then I'm not recommending you to apply this visa, because the processing time is quite long. But still, if your parents are quite young and uh, eligible to apply, so yeah, this visa is for you. Otherwise, if parents are onshore and meeting the requirements, particularly the age and balance of family test, then this visa is most beneficial. And why it is beneficial, I tell you in the next slides. Uh, Another subclass, there are two subclasses in this visa, non-contributory I'm discussing. So one is 103, which is offshore, and 804 onshore. Third one, if your parents are not meeting the age requirements, or they're unable to file these visas, either contributory or non-contributory, then there is another option. There's another temporary visa, which is subclass 870. So your parents can still apply this visa if you want to keep them for a longer period of time in Australia. So you can apply for 3 years at a time, or up to 5 years at a time. So this is renewable visa. You can review again, but this visa could be granted up to 10 years. But as I said, it's a temporary visa, so it's not leading to any PR. And the sponsor, they have to meet some requirements like income threshold, and have to be settled Australian citizen, permanent resident. So let's discussing these visas in detail now. So first, let's start with the contributory one. So contributory parent visa, which is subclass 143. So it is offshore visa. So I tell you a simple example. If any visa starting with letter 1, so that means it is offshore. If starting with 8, so it is onshore. Simple as that to remember. So 143 is a contributory parent permanent visa, and it is an offshore visa. So as name indicate, we can apply this visa from offshore, or even you can apply this because the permanent visa, if parents are in Australia, so still they're eligible to apply onshore as well. But when you apply this visa onshore or offshore, but at the time of grant, the parents must be offshore. If they otherwise, if they're applying directly this visa, but they could be, this visa can be granted onshore if they already on 173 visa and then applied 143 visa on the transition of from 173 to 143. So then this visa can be granted while they are onshore as well. So this visa is quite expensive, as I said. So the processing cost is 48,640. So when you apply, you have to pay the base charge in the beginning, so which is $5,040 when you apply. So when the visa is granted, the second installment, the case officer asks for the second installment during the time of grant, and that installment is 43,600 or 19,420 if you're already on the 473 and transiting from that visa to subclass 143. So benefit of this visa is processing time. So usually processed between 7 to 12 years. There is no age requirements. So parent could be of any age. And also the possibility of dividing the payment between two installments, like you parents can apply 173 first and then transit to 143 instead of applying 143 directly. So then you have to pay all the visa fee, which is 48,640 in two years. So this is the most beneficial. So because if you go on 173, so you have to keep this visa for 2 years, and within those 2 years you can apply 143 to get the permanent residency. So all the fee is divided into 2 years instead of giving it straight away in one go. So this is the benefit to apply of this visa. And another thing, so you can't apply these visas, this parent visa, either it is contributory or non-contributory, uh, over the IME account. So these are the paper applications. So you have to print out the forms and fill it up and supply all the evidences like ID, sponsor proof, settlement, assurance of support when it is asked, and health and police check. Everything you have to be print out and apply on papers and submit to the Department of Home Affairs at Parents Visa Center. The another contributory parent visa is 864, which is called age dependent visa, aged and also called age contributory visa. Why it is called age? Because it is onshore visa, and to apply for this visa, your parents have the pension age. Uh, like they are on a certain age. Nowadays pension age is 67 years. So if they are 67-year older, only then they are eligible to apply this visa. Plus also have to go for the balance of family test as well. So I will discuss balance of family tests later stage. So now, pension age, what is the pension? What I said, it's a 67-year nowadays, but still there are various categories divided by the Australian governments. The major category, like if the parents are born in January 54 to June 55, then if they are 66-year old, they're eligible for this visa. If they're born from July 55 to December 56, then their age must be 66.5 years. But if they're born on or after January 1957, then their age must be 67 years. So only then they be eligible to apply this visa. So another criteria of this visa category is the parent must be in Australia for both at the time of application and time of decision as well. So that's why it is called onshore parent visa. So the most benefit of this visa is parents are eligible for bridging visa. They will get bridging visa A when you apply this visa. And the Medicare, they not get the Medicare while they apply this visa, but on the grant of this visa, yes, they eligible to have the Medicare. Its cost is same like 143, which the offshore visa one, so same 48,640. So mainly when you choose this visa, when your parents are already in Australia, if they came on visitor visa or any other kind of visa, and then if they don't have any no further stay conditions, so you can apply if meeting all the requirements. So if they have the age pension age, meeting the balance of family test, and fit and healthy, you can apply this visa. Plus, of course, the affordability. So if you can afford 48,640, so it's the most beneficial visa for you if you want to keep your parents as a permanent resident in Australia. So after grant of this visa, they will have the full working right, everything. So even when you apply this visa on bridging visa A, they have the all working right on this visa as well. Even they are on the retirement age. So processing of these visa applications, same as 143. So this is also a paper-based visa application, and applicant must be onshore. And all the documents, the IT documents, sponsor residency proof, income documents, assurance of support, health and police check and pension age evidences. So all documents have to provide when you launch this visa application. Let's move on to another visa category, non-contributory. So non-contributory again have a category like 103. As I said, if visa category starting from 1, it's offshore. So it is the offshore visa. So 103, again, a permanent visa. Applicant must be outside when you apply for this visa, or especially when the visa is granted. At the time of grant, you have to be offshore. And no breezing visa associated with this subclass because it is an offshore visa. The benefit is there is no age requirement. So you can apply anytime if you are Australian citizen or permanent resident or eligible New Zealand citizens. So its cost, it is quite less expensive compared to contributory parent visa. So the cost is 5,280 base application charge when you apply at the time of application, and second installment 2,065 at the time of grant. So the risk associated with visa subclass are parents' health. So because they have to undergo the health check twice during the processing of this visa subclass. So parents' health may deteriorate over this long waiting time. So this waiting time is quite long, up to 25 to 30 years. So visa could be refused on the basis of health check, the later stage. Maybe they qualify in the first stage, but during the second stage, in the long waiting time, if their health is not so well by the time, and this could be the cause of major visa refusal of it. Processing documents. So again, this is a paper-based application. So have to lodge at Parents Visa Center, which is nowadays processing center in Western Australia. So ID documents and sponsorship proof, relationship, and assurance of support, health and police check. So everything has to be provided while we're going to launch this visa application. So another subclass is 804. It is same like 103, but 103 was the offshore visa. So 804 is the onshore visa. If your parents are onshore, they don't have any no further stay, then this visa is the best visa to apply for the parents. And yeah, although the waiting time is quite long, but still they eligible for bridging visa A and can live in Australia as long as application is under process, and can stay and even travel outside by getting the bridging visa B. So this visa is quite beneficial if you want to keep them for a longer time. So this again is a permanent visa. So applicant must be the pension age, which I recently discussed. So pension age, which is 67 nowadays. So especially who were born after after January 1957. Again, applicant must be in Australia at the time of decision. So and the time of application as well. So associated with bridging visa A, full working right, but Medicare only be granted on the grant of this visa. Processing time quite long, 25 to 30 years, and cost is the same as 103. So 5,280 base application charge, 2,065 is the second installment payable at the time of grant. So it's better whenever your parents are here on this visa and waiting for the decision, say that they're not as associated with the Medicare straight away. So until the visa is granted. So I advise you to have the private health insurance if parents are living for a quite long with you on this visa, and they can apply. You can apply this visa for your parents if there is no further stay on their current visa application, or they're not Section 48 bar. So processing time is quite longer, as same as subclass 103. So third subclass is subclass 870. If you are not satisfied with the longer waiting time of non-contributory visas, and you're not quite affordability in terms of financial stability, you can't apply, you don't want to apply the contributory parent visa. So next visa subclass is 870. So if you want to keep your parent for a longer time, from 3 year to 5 year, uh, in one go, so this visa is best choice for you. Again, you have to be the Australian citizen, permanent resident, or eligible New Zealand citizen. I'm talking about eligible New Zealand citizens. So what do you mean by eligible New Zealand citizen? It doesn't mean whoever are New Zealand citizen who are in Australia. Nowadays, they are directly PR in Australia, but still they are not eligible to apply this visa. The reason is the term known as eligible New Zealand citizen. So who are they? There's a complex definition of those people, especially the eligible New Zealand citizens are those who was on protected subclass special category visa, and specially defined in the meaning of Section 7 of Social Security Act 1997. But in simple language, I can describe the terms eligible New Zealand citizens are those people, those New Zealand citizens who were in Australia on 26th of February 2001. If they were in Australia at that time and lived there uh, for at least 2 years before that days, and on particular day they were in Australia, then left Australia and then came back, so still they considered as a eligible New Zealand citizen. So those people equivalent to Australian permanent resident and Australian citizen, so all these people are eligible to apply these parent visas I'm discussing. So I think it is clear with you. So let's introduce you to the next subclass 870. So this is a temporary sponsored parent visa, and this visa, on this visa, parents can stay up to 3 years to 5 years, and again they can renew this visa again up to 10 years. So this cost is 6,070 for 3 years and 12,140 for 5 years. And also sponsor have to pay the fee, so which is 420, the sponsorship fee. It is a two-stage process. First, apply for the sponsorship. When sponsorship is approved, then parents are eligible to file this visa subclass. If they are offshore, they have to apply this visa within 6 months of the approval of sponsorship. But if they get the sponsorship approval to apply onshore, then this visa have to apply within the 2 months. The requirements: first of all, sponsorship must be approved, and sponsor have to meet the income test. So the sponsor income, basically who is the child going to sponsor, so child income, it must be 83,454 at least, which is the income threshold for 1 year. So it's the annual income. So if you are not meeting this income threshold, then you can still meet this requirement, but combining the income of your partner or children as well. But when you're combining the income with your family member, in that case, your income must be the 50% of that income. So yeah, for example, if it is suppose 83,454, so out of this 50% share your income has to be there, so rest of the 50% you can combine with the family members. So, and the main benefit of this visa subclass is you don't have to meet the balance of family test. But other side, there is no eligibility for Medicare on this visa, and there is no PR pathway available. It is purely a temporary visa, like a visitor visa. They are here in Australia on temporary visa, but they can stay continuously up from 3 to 5 years. So this is ideal for the people who want to keep their parents continuously 3 to 5 years in Australia, because if they come stay on visitor visa, the maximum they can stay for 1 year on visitor visa. So this visa can apply. This is not a paper application. You can apply this visa online through email account. Uh, First of all, sponsorship application that have to be approved, and only then you can apply this visa. Next one, transition option. So 173 and 884. So these are transition option of 143 and 864 visas, which we discussed this contributory and non-contributory one. So these transition options are available if you're going to divide the visa cost in two installments. So you can, like, if you apply 143, so you have to pay or 864, you have to pay all 48,660 in one go with the second installment. So but if you apply 173 or 884 before the permanent stage, you can divide that visa fee in two installment over the 2 years. You can pay over the 2 years. So that's the main benefit. There's a transition option of those permanent visa subclasses. So subclass 173, which is offshore visa, offshore temporary. So you have to keep this visa for 2 years. Within those 2 years, you have to apply permanent visa, either 143 or 884. So cost, this visa, when you apply this visa, base application cost is 3,395, and second installment, so it is 29,130 when you apply 173. On the other hand, if you are onshore, 884, as I said, it's an onshore parent visa and age dependent as well, like 864. Is lead to 864, but the cost is at the time of application 5,040, but the second installment is 19,420. So when you apply 884, so this visa is associated with the bridging visa as well and full working right. But again, no Medicare unless the permanent stage is granted. So again, this is also, these two visas are also paper-based applications. So all sort of documentation and supporting evidences have to be sent manually as a paper application. Now, I was telling you about balance of family test. So what is the balance of family test? So this test is quite important when we are going to apply for parent visas. So key requirements are at least 50% of the eligible children have to be living in Australia. Only then parents can apply these sort of visas, either contributory, either non-contributory. In other terms, you can say more eligible children in Australia than they are in other single country. And what is the meaning of eligible children? So eligible children, as I said, have to be Australian citizen, permanent resident, or eligible New Zealand citizens, usually resident in Australia. And eligible, and they have to be settled as well, another definition. So what is the meaning of settle? Settle means there's no as such definition like settle means they have to be earning a lot of money, everything. No, that's not the case. Settle means they have to be living in Australia permanently on PR or on citizen from at least last 2 years. Then they consider as a settled eligible children. So I can give you the example, like there are 3 children, 1 in Australia, 2 overseas, then parents are not meeting the balance of family test. As I said, 50% of the children have to be in Australia. If there are 4 children, 2 living in Australia, 2 living in UK, yes, they pass the balance of family test. So sometimes people ask, like, there are two children out of four, they're living in Australia. One is citizen, one on TR or student visa, and two living in India. So my friend, they're still not meeting the balance of family test, because they have to be eligible children, means they have to be, you have living in Australia, they have to be permanent resident, PR, or Australian citizen, or eligible New Zealand citizens. So this is the balance of family test. And sponsorship requirements. So who can sponsor? The first category, as I said, have to be citizen, have to be PR, have to be eligible New Zealand citizens. Only then they're eligible to sponsor. And settle, as I say, have to be living in Australia for 2 years or permanently. Assurance of support. This is a payment bond, have to pay when application year of grant. At the time of application, it is not required, but when during the processing, when case officer processing your application and nearly the last stage, then they ask for assurance of support. The assurance of support must provide the identity documents, proof of taxable incomes, and Commonwealth bond of 10,000 for the primary applicant. And if secondary applicant is included on the application, then it is 4,000. And this assurance of support will keep with the Australian government for 10 years if they're applying contributory parent visa, or 2 years if they're applying for non-contributory parent visa. And bridging visa, as I told, bridging visa is associated only for the onshore visas. The onshore visas are age dependent 804, 864, 884. Only these visas are associated with the bridging visa. On the other hand, all offshore visa, whether it is 143 or 173, either contributory or non-contributory, they are not eligible for bridging visa. And for these onshore visas, they comes with the full working right as well. So medical access, so it is not available during the processing of the application, but yes, when the visa is granted, so you're eligible for the Medicare. So next step is if suppose by unluckily that visa application is refused or not successful, in that case, what to do? Usually the visa application fails because of if parents are not meeting the balance of family test, or sponsored or eligible children are not settled, means they are not living permanently from last 2 years, or health concerns on the health ground when they go for medicals and something comes up, and that could be the cause of visa refusal, or incorrect documentation or any bogus documents provided, or missing forms. So full forms are not applied while the time of application. So these are the major cause why these application disapprove. But they're still eligible for you are still eligible for appeal with the tribunal. So lodge at the administrative review tribunal, which is called ART now, but ART has strict guidelines, so you have to apply within 28 days from the date of decision of visa application. So ART appeal, so their itself fee is 3,580 nowadays, but they refund 50% of this fees if the review is successful. So this is all about the parents visa category. So what we discussed today, we discussed the contributory visas, which are quite expensive, but processing time is quite less than the non-contributory visas. Non-contributory visas, they are cheaper, but they have a long waiting time. 870 is a temporary visa, can stay up to 10 years, but no PR option. A balance of family test, assurance of support, that's the key requirement of contributory and non-contributory visa subclasses. Appeals is possible, so that's what we discuss. And what are the basic requirements and cost structure of these visa subclasses. So if you have any questions, this is all about the parents visa categories. So I'm ready to answer your queries now. So otherwise, still, if you have any query, you need more clarifications, which subclass you have to go, you may contact us at your nearest CECA office, or you can call us on 0291697960, or you can call me directly at 0451369851, or you can see me at the Melbourne office as well. So thanks today. Thank you everyone for joining. And I'm going to close the session now. Thanks everyone.